Oi, hoi, hoi, hoi. Comics Plus, what's going on? Akasan here. I gotta feed the YouTube engine as I am awaiting my X-Men 97 edit and Shogun. So, gotta give something for you guys. So we're gonna watch, since the Deadpool Wolverine trailer breakdown, or the trailer got copyrighted, I'm not making any money. Which, that happens sometimes, you know. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the Deadpool and Wolverine trailer breakdown. And talk about it. Here we go. This is from Screen Crush. What the hell?
Let's go. Hey, welcome back to Screen Crush. I'm Colton Ogburn, and these are all the Easter eggs, references, and little things you might have missed in the second trailer for Deadpool and Wolverine.
Okay.
Wolverine in a bar, just like we saw in the first X-Men movie back in 2000. The bartender is telling him he's not welcome there, likely because he is a mutant. Logan says,
"Just give me one more drink and then I'll leave."
A little wink and nod to the idea of Hugh Jackman playing Wolverine just one more time.
I get it.
He'll leave.
I get it.
We saw in this teaser announcement for his return.
Hey, Hugh, you want to play Wolverine one more time?
Yeah, sure, Ryan.
Deadpool says,
Hi, Peanut.
sounding just like Paul Rudd's Scott Lang when talking to his daughter, Cassie Lang.
I
who he
see.
calls Peanut.
Good point.
And a little later in the trailer, we get some more Ant-Man references that I think could be teasing a cameo from Paul Rudd in this movie. In the bar, we can see a Canadian flag and these moose antlers on the wall.
Oh, Canada!
This makes sense because Wolverine is from Canada, and in the first X-Men movie, he's in a bar in Canada. And in X-Men Origins Wolverine,
Tamil.
we hear him say,
I'm Canadian.
and in The Wolverine, he's also holding up in Canada, and we see him in another Canada-based bar. And of course, Deadpool himself, Ryan Reynolds, is also Canadian.
I make no secret about how much I love Canada.
It was also on the Canadian border that we saw Wolverine die in Logan.
Oh.
Wolverine has trouble getting his claws up, just like we saw here in Logan. When Deadpool pulls a gun on him, we can see around the barrel the words "Smile, wait for Flash," just like we saw here in the opening credits of Deadpool 2. Special shout out to Lee Mazzio for spotting that. We then see Wolverine push his head to the barrel and he smiles, showing us two things. Wolverine, of course, can take a bullet to the head, just like we saw in X-Men 2 and in Origins Wolverine, but this also shows us that this Wolverine is at a point in his life when he has nothing more
He just doesn't care. Yeah, actually, I often think about that line from X-Men 2 a lot because when people ask me, why don't you pause the video or something like that, back in the day, I literally could not. Like, man, you're such a bad reactor or whatever. They'd be like, pause. What? Or some people were, we could do a whole segment on this about how people are like, you should watch it first, then watch and react. I'm like, what? Like, and I'd always be like, I can't, like that. But anyways, sorry. Side thing.
Living or fighting for. Now, in X-Men Origins Wolverine, we saw Wolverine take an adamantium bullet to the head that made him lose his memories, including the memory of this merc without a mouth. We've also seen an adamantium bullet be able to kill a clone of Wolverine in Logan. In the exclusive footage we saw at CinemaCon, we learned that the TVA has given Deadpool adamantium katanas. So they probably also gave him adamantium bullets as well. So this Wolverine may be hoping that Deadpool will shoot him in the head and either kill him or make him forget all the painful memories he's carrying with him.
Kill me. Kill me.
And guys, I am just so f***ing excited for the return of...
I hope this guy got some sleep. I think they were working on this video, burning the midnight oil here. Like, yeah, man.
Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, as well as Deadpool entering the MCU. And to celebrate, we've got these awesome Deadpool and Wolverine inspired shirts up on our merch store right now, screencrushmerch.com. We've got the MCU Savior shirt by Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, and Marvel Studios. And in that teaser, we heard audio from this scene in Deadpool 2 when Deadpool travels back to X-Men Origins Wolverine.
You're gonna hang up the claws, and it's gonna make a lot of people very sad.
Huh?
It's also in that trailer that we saw footage from Logan, the Wolverine, and X-Men Origins Wolverine, but nothing from the X-Men films. Perhaps this is hinting that we're going to be revisiting the Wolverine trilogy throughout Deadpool and Wolverine, and that this movie is going to be kind of a character study and kind of a final chapter closing of the book for the character of Wolverine. And guys, my guess as to what's happening in this scene is that it's earlier on in the film, before Deadpool and the TVA are on opposite sides. And I think that in this scene, we're actually seeing Deadpool sent by the TVA to arrest Wolverine, something the TVA has never been able to do. But we'll get more into those theories in a follow-up video. tomorrow. That's kind of a bad habit of mine. I'll just go off in these tangents about, theories when I get really excited. But that bad habit is not nearly as bad as me chewing on my lips when I get nervous or anxious. So I traded that bad habit for a good one by using Fume.
Wow.
Sponsor of this video.
I'm not going to lie. The way they sneak in their sponsorships are pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. But Akasan ain't getting paid by them, so. Not yet, anyways. Let's go.
Deadpool. So we also got a new poster for the film, which is a recreation of this poster for Logan, which was inspired by this poster for Schindler's List.
Oh, fuck. I never even thought about that, the Schindler's List connection. Wow. Wow.
Here in the Void, we finally get the face reveal in this shot of Wolverine looking over Deadpool in their fight in the Void. Remember, the Void was first introduced in Loki as a place at the end of time where variants and things from dead realities go when their universe or timelines are destroyed. It's also here in the Void that we get another look at the 20th Century Fox statue, as well as what looks like the Saber space station that we saw in the Marvels. Special shout out to our editor, Lee Mazzio, for catching that one. Here, Deadpool says,
I'm about to lose everything that I've ever cared about.
Confirming our theory that his universe is dying and that this movie will be focusing on his mission to
saving
his
everything
universe from annihilation. Right. We also get a reference to this version of Wolverine's universe having also been destroyed. Here we can see Logan walking past these giant pillars that our very own Ryan Airy pointed out are just like the gravestones that we saw in the Days of Future Past comics, tombs of fallen mutants. And it's worth mentioning that twice now we've seen the Fox X-Men universe go to shit and a lot of mutants die, and Wolverine be one of the few remaining survivors. In the Days of Future Past movie, we saw an apocalyptic future that Logan was able...
Bro, can I just say how good that movie was, man? Like, I really wish... I don't even think I remember the road cut so much, but man... Days of Future Past, right? I think in Japanese it was Days of Future and the Past, or whatever. Future Past. Anyways, the fact that they were able to pull that off when a multiverse wasn't even a thing back then, time travel, man, that movie was so good. All right, sorry.
Able to fix, but then just a few years later he finds himself in yet another apocalyptic future with most mutants being dead yet again. It's almost as if his timeline is written to end with the mass extinction of mutants, and perhaps his many attempts at trying to save mutant kind is what eventually led to the destruction of his universe. Here we can see that Mr. Paradox has been punched in the nose. My guess is by Wolverine. We also hear Paradox say,
"This Wolverine let down his entire world."
Perhaps confirming the long-rumored plot of Secret Wars having chosen ones from their specific universes. Certain beings who are like anchor points for their reality, and without them serving as a hero, their reality will fall. Next, we get to see some very violent segments from Deadpool and Wolverine's fight. When Wolverine tells Deadpool,
go f yourself.
That reminded me of this scene from X-Men First Class when he said the same to Magneto and Professor X.
Go f yourself.
Deadpool says that he doesn't know anything about saving worlds. This is a reference to not only him trying to save his universe, but also him feeling like he's not a good superhero. We know that in the beginning of Deadpool and Wolverine, we'll learn that Wade has retired from superheroing, and now he needs what he views as a real superhero in Wolverine to help him save the day. And it's important to remember that Deadpool in his first two films has always idolized Wolverine, so it's fitting that Wolverine is the hero that Wade has turned to help save his world. Wolverine says,
"Trust me, kid, I'm no hero."
Showing us the guilt Logan feels for whatever role he had to play in the destruction.
What do you guys think about the arm, the shoulder cuffs not being included? It's not a big deterrent for me, but yeah, it kind of would have been nice if they had them, but I just feel like it would have been unnecessary too.
Of his own universe. And then boom, we get a shot of Wolverine sleeveless. Wolverine sleeves have been something many fans have pointed out as a difference between his yellow costume from the comics and the animated series and the yellow costume that we are seeing in this movie. In the background here, we can see Lightfeld being the co-creator of Deadpool, and next to his name it says Just Feet because Lightfeld notoriously draw feet. which was something they also poked fun at here in Deadpool 2.
Probably a guy who can't draw feet.
And you'll also
I
see
remember
here
that.
that Wolverine and Deadpool are walking down a one-way street, but in the opposite direction. This could be meant to symbolize how they are going against the predetermined path.
I see.
And refusing to fall in line with the future that has been written for them. And yes, I know that in Loki Season 2, we saw the sacred timeline replaced by Loki's multiversal tree. But in the exclusive CinemaCon footage that I was lucky enough to see, we heard Mr. Paradox say that the TVA works to protect the sacred timeline. So this could all be taking place prior to Loki upending the sacred timeline. Here Deadpool says,
You were an X-Man. You were the X-Man.
a bit of a meta reference to how, unlike in the comics or in the animated series where Wolverine was more of a supporting character, Jackman's take on Wolverine really pushed the character into the spotlight as
100%.
the X-Man. Here we can see Cassandra Nova, the confirmed villain for this film, and sibling of Professor Charles Xavier. In the comics, she once shared a womb with Charles Xavier as his twin sister, but in the womb, Charles recognized her as an evil presence and he killed her, resulting in a miscarriage. She survived in the sewers as a growing mass of cells and eventually crafted her own body. And in the comics, she was actually behind the brutal massacre of the mutants at Genosha, the same massacre that we saw in episode 5 of X-Men 97. As we've theorized many times, I think that the X-Men 97 animated universe could be getting tied in with the mainline MCU, and this could be yet another hint. And speaking of X-Men 97 episode 5, our Remember It shirt is up on our merch store right now. Now, earlier I said that I thought we might get a cameo from an Ant-Man variant in this movie portrayed by Paul Rudd, and now I'm not so sure. I think that I may have found that variant, and it's not the cameo we were expecting, because here we can see Cassandra stepping out of what looks like the skull of Ant-Man in his giant man form. So it's not just the costume, it's the whole skeleton. Here we can see his top row of teeth, and my good friend MT over at Heavy Spoilers pointed out that Cassandra is living within a cerebrum, just like Charles Xavier spent most of his time in Cerebro. Cerebro allows for Charles to enter the minds of mutants and humans from great distances. Cassandra shares that same power as Charles, so it's fitting to see her living inside someone's skull. Here we can see Eliath, the big purple cloud monster that we met in Loki Season 1, a being that is capable of eating the very fabric of reality and also consumes variants and leftover artifacts that are thrown in the void. And here we get an even better look at the giant man corpse that Cassandra has made her home, and oh my god, that is just so cool. Here we can see Azazel from X-Men First Class and the father of Nightcrawler in the comics, and I think this right here could be the same version of Sabretooth that we met in the first X-Men. Here we can see Lady Deathstrike from X-Men 2.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Pyro from X-Men 2.
Yeah.
And I think this might be Toad. Here in the distance, we see the Golden Gate Bridge, which we also saw in the first trailer.
From X3.
And that Golden Gate Bridge is, of course, from this scene in X-Men The Last Stand when Magneto lifted the bridge. And here we can see Deadpool with Dogpool, and in the side of Deadpool's head, we can see 3 Wolverine claw marks from their fight from earlier in the film. Now, normally I'd have Doug tell you all about Dogpool, but he's checking on Ryan in the bathroom. He has been in there a while, so you're stuck with me. In the comics, Dogpool is a variant of Deadpool, similar to how Loki has an alligator variant. So I'm guessing that Dogpool will actually be one of the many Deadpool variants that we meet. Dogpool. Here we can see the big old gloved hands of Giant Man, and here we see Cassandra showing off what appears to be telekinetic powers as she takes on Wolverine, or she's simply in his mind and controlling him that way. And holy shnikes, we get to see Deadpool and Wolverine jumping into a freaking Mystic Arts portal. Who's casting the portal? Is it Doctor Strange? Is it Wong? Could it be Forge? We saw Forge using Mystic Arts identical to Doctor Strange's in episode 6 of X-Men 97, so hey, maybe it's Forge, we'll just have to see. And then we get this great exchange between Wade and Blind Al about Booger Sugar.
Do you want to build a snowman?
Yes. I can't. And this reference to Do You Want to Build a Snowman is not only another Disney reference, but a reference to this scene in Deadpool 2.
Is it just me, or Do You Want to Build a Snowman from Frozen sound suspiciously like Papa Can You Hear Me from Yentl?
Well, guys, there's our breakdown for this trailer.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay, so not too big. But there were some good little things there. I read Ryan Reynolds' wife is playing Lady Deadpool. Really? Is that how it goes? Well, thank you, Screen Crush, for confirming some stuff that we've known, and Twitter got it out there. But you know, Screen Crush will always be out there. New rock stars will really blow it up. It's crazy the kind of stuff that they come up with sometimes, but I do appreciate that, man. Yeah, there we go. Cannot wait for this movie. It comes out in July, right? I don't know when I can check it on IMDb real quick. Deadpool and Wolverine, right? Yeah, I actually don't know when, if it's gonna come out. In all likelihood, what is it? It's Disney now, right? Technically. So if it's Disney, there's a good chance that it will come out on time. Oh yeah, wow. Ray Park. Look at this. Ray Park. So Toad is back, but is that Ray Park actually playing him? Kelly Hu is going. Okay. I don't know if this is confirmed or not, but maybe so. Okay. Yukiko is back. Yep. Shatterstar. Yo, that's crazy. Rumored. Okay, Cable is rumored. Okay. So Lady Deadpool. Okay, I know. Sorry. Now I just put together what you were saying. Okay, let's take a look here. The release schedule is United States. And I always go all the way down to get Japan, because Japan is always the last for whatever reason. Oh, okay, cool. It looks like it's coming out the 26th. It's coming out the 26th in Japan, so that's good for me. That is good for me. US is 26. Okay, so everybody's on time here. Excellent. That's the best birthday present ever for me. All right. Red Red Nation, stand up, speak up. Let me know what you guys think about this. Are you ready for Deadpool and Wolverine? I'm sure you are. We'll talk to you on the next video. Peace.